Okay, so today we're going deep on this Dechmont Woods thing. Right,
Okay.
you heard about this one?
Yeah, a little bit.
So it happened back in '79 in Scotland, right?
Okay.
And involves this guy Bob Taylor. He's a forestry worker,
Mm-hmm.
and well, basically claims he ran into a spaceship.
Wow.
We've got like his account of it, what he said happened, and the police reports and everything. So
Interesting.
we're gonna like put it all together and see what we can figure out.
Yeah, it's fascinating that he was a forestry worker, right?
Yeah. What about it?
Like, this isn't a guy who's, prone to making stuff up. I mean,
Right, right. He's a respected guy in the community.
yeah, exactly. Like, known for being reliable, honest. So
Yeah.
that just adds to the whole mystery.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's like rewind back to that morning,
Okay.
November 9th, 1979. Dechmont Woods, near Livingston, Newtown. So Livingston's this planned town in Scotland built in the 60s.
Okay.
Just like a little background for anyone who doesn't
Yeah.
know. So it's fall,
Yeah.
crisp morning.
Yeah.
Taylor's doing his usual rounds, and then bam, this is where things get really weird.
What happens?
So he says he sees this like large dome-shaped object,
Okay.
dark gray, almost like it was blending in with the woods.
Camouflage.
Yeah, and he even describes these like arms, almost mechanical, sticking out with what looked like blades on them.
Whoa, blades.
Uh-huh.
Like, what do you mean by blades?
He doesn't really go into detail,
Uh-huh.
but it's just unsettling to think about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting what you said about like him describing it in such detail.
Yeah.
That's something you see a lot with these kinds of encounters, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
It's not just like a vague, I saw something weird. It's
Right.
like they're really impacted by it on like a sensory level.
Yeah, and then on top of that, there are these two spherical objects.
Spherical objects, what does that even,
I know, right?
what do they look like?
Like imagine these balls, about 3 feet across, each with 6 spikes on them, and they're rolling towards him.
Oh my gosh, that's creepy.
It's like straight out of sci-fi or something.
What?
And he says he felt this tugging sensation, like he was being pulled toward the object.
Oh wow, so it wasn't just like a visual thing.
Yeah, and the smell.
The smell.
We kept talking about this powerful, like, choking smell he couldn't describe.
Huh. That's wild. You know, these sensory details.
Yeah.
That's what makes these accounts seem so real, you know? It's hard to fake that kind of thing.
Right, right. So later on, his wife finds him.
Hmm.
He's a mess. Pale, drained, covered in dirt.
Oh, wow.
There's this red scar on his face, and his trousers are all ripped up.
His trousers are ripped. Like, how?
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, like, his wife at first,
Yeah.
she just thought he'd fallen or something,
Yeah.
hit his head. Like, the spaceship thing was too much.
Right. Of course.
But clearly something happened to him out there.
Totally. And, like, the fact that he's normally so put together
Right.
and then he's found in that state,
Yeah.
that just makes you think, like, whatever happened really messed him up.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, so the police report, this is where it gets good. So this police constable, John Bate,
Mm-hmm.
he finds these track marks in the ground at the scene.
Track marks, like tire track?
No, like lines.
Okay.
2 distinct lines of them. And get this, 40 round holes.
Holes? What kind of holes?
Like perfectly round, 3.5 inches across.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all in this fenced off area.
Fenced off.
Yeah, like a little enclosed space.
Man, it's like straight out of like an X-Files episode or something.
I know, right? What do you make of that?
I don't even know. And fenced off, you said.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Yeah.
There's no other tracks leading into or out of that fenced area.
So how did those holes get there?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And like I said, his trousers were ripped, right? But they weren't just torn. It was like they were pulled upwards.
Pulled upwards.
Yeah, the police report actually says that the tiers look like the fabric was pulled up while he was wearing them.
Oh, wow. So like something grabbed him.
Yeah, it's creepy, right? And that kind of lends credence to his story, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's physical evidence, right? It's not just him saying something happened.
Right, right. But, I mean, couldn't you say that even someone who's really honest
Yeah,
could misinterpret something weird, especially if they were stressed?
that's true. I mean, we can't rule that out entirely.
Yeah.
But you also have to consider what everyone else is saying about him.
What do you mean?
Like, everyone who knew Taylor said he was a straight shooter,
Right.
a pillar of the community, totally honest guy. Like, it's hard to believe he'd make up something this elaborate.
Yeah, I guess so. Did anyone, like, officially investigate, like, the Ministry of Defense or anything?
You know, it's weird. There's no record of that.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the police report is all we have.
Huh. That makes it even weirder.
I know, right? So what do you think? What really happened to Bob Taylor in Dechmont Woods that day?
I don't know. It's one of those cases that just sticks with you, Makes you wonder what else is out there.
Yeah, it really makes you question everything.
It does.
It's like one of the best documented UFO cases out there, and it just makes you think,
Oh, yeah.
like, maybe we're not alone, you know? Maybe there are things out there we don't even understand.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's definitely a case that, even after all these years, keeps people talking
Oh, yeah, for sure.
and wondering, what if?
Exactly.
Well said. What do you think happened in Detchmont Woods? Let us know your thoughts. It's a case that leaves us with more questions than answers, but that's what makes it so fascinating, isn't it? Until next time, keep looking up.
And stay curious.